Hello, everyone. Uh, I'll just wait for a couple of minutes more for friends to join. I think you can all confirm if you are getting the audio and video, and please refresh and be ready. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Okay. Thank you, Pragna, Devi. Okay. Akshay, thank you. Ajaz, thank you. Ajaz says no AV. Please refresh Ajaz. Tarak Rama also says no AV. Okay, Jyot Soumya says clear. Those who are not able to get audio video, please refresh and kind of log in, log out, log in. Please, all clear. Manusri says yes. Sanjana says good, good. Ajaz also says okay now. Okay, right. So please refresh and be ready because we'll start the session in another 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. So let's get started then. As I promised you, I do not want to delay waiting for the friends who are yet to join. I see as we come closer to the CLAT exam, or we don't know when the CLAT exam is going to happen. I see many students, dropping in their motivation levels. That is not going to help, friends. It's not about only cracking CLAT and getting to NLU, but the thing is, you have the right attitude, right frame, right process. You will be successful in life. You will be. It's not about success also. You will be good in life. You'll have a good life, right? You'll be happy in life. You'll be controlled in life, and that will be good. If you're not a process, you don't follow a process, you don't follow the right this thing, you will get a lot of confusion, a lot of doubts. That's not good for you. Okay, so welcome to you all once again. A very good morning, good morning. I hope you're all settled with your AV issues. Anyone, if they have. So what I'll do now is, I think first 10-15 minutes I want to take you through, because this is going to be the new phase of our learning. I think last 2.5 months we have been doing this online classes. We call it intensive course, crash course. So many of you, some of our classroom students, many of your online students also, we've all done these classes for the next last 2.5 months. So I suggest you to kind of use those things to kind of utilize the next 1.5 month also in the same manner. That's a broad thinking. Couple of you are again saying there's no video. Kindly refresh. It is fine. I mean, all of you others, it's all fine. From my side, if you can broadly say video and audio, is it fine or not? Siddharth also says no. Okay. Jyoti says fine. Guru Priya says fine. Quickly. Yeah. Okay. Clear. Clear. Jashwant says no. Jashwant, can you please confirm? Because I want to get started with the session. If you are launching from mobile, I suggest kindly, please do that. Refresh yourself, because from my side, there's no issue. Okay. Tarak Rama says no AV. I don't know. Refreshed it. Okay. Lata. Okay. Treta also says no AV. Can you please check? Okay. A lot of you. I don't want this to happen again in the middle. So kindly, all of you do this. I'm here. AV. I'm here. My audio is here. Kind of check. My video is also from my side. It's doing it. Okay. Audio is fine. Okay. Balaji says. But what video is not fine? Refresh. Okay. All of you, can you please refresh? Because half of you, I mean, most of you are saying, okay. Okay, you want me to, can you please refresh? Okay, you want me to. So what I'll do is, if you want me to refresh, what I should do is, okay. So I'll just come back then, just for the sake of refreshing. So do not worry again. I'll just do. And I've refreshed it for the benefit of all of you. Is it, just check if it's better now. I've refreshed it from my side also. Can you please check? Yes, all of you, can you please confirm if you're getting the video and audio? Yes, Tarak Rama says yes. Lata says fine. Nirupam fine. Okay. Gokuke says yeah. Quickly. Yes, that will give me the broad understanding. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So good. So the attendance also has improved a little. I really wanted to punish those who are coming late, but I think this AV issues gave us this 5 minutes time, breathing time. I think students are anyway here. But yeah, 15 of you. There are only 65 of you on time. 15 of you have just come, and I'm sure this number will go increase to some more number. Let's not worry about it. So let's get started. All of you excited? Let's get started. Like I said, my goal would be to ensure that you kind of focus on the next 1.5 months or so, 6 weeks or so, you kind of use the foundation we have built for the last 10 weeks. Okay, that's very important. Saiti, I speak loudly. The only thing is I can't tear out my voice. I'll keep loudly, Saiti. I'll try to, but I'm already a loudspeaker. Please understand. I'm trying to bring it out. So please increase your voice also. Increase the volume there. That's what I meant. Okay, and that's very important. Or have a headphone. That's better. I'm speaking from a microphone, not even this thing. So anyway, sorry. Getting back. So what I would want to tell all of you is whatever we have done for the last 10 weeks, right? So we have done close to 120 hours, 125 hours of classes, right? Live classes. Some of you would have missed it, some of you would have joined later, some of you, whatever reasons, those 120 plus hours of live classes are recorded and given to you. All of them are given to you. Okay, so it's important for you to understand that those 120 hours of classes are not meant to be heard once and left them. The idea is to kind of go back to those classes whenever and as and when you have time, and multiple times you have to do it. Please understand, those 120 hours of 60 to 70 sessions of 2 hours each are done to you so that you can rewind, refresh many number of times that you need in the next 6 weeks or so. Till the time CLAT is there, use the sessions. Do not listen and leave once. Because a lot of you, whenever you get a query, the best thing to do is go back to the sessions, go back to 120 hours of classes. You should have an idea, when did this topic get discussed. That's a broad thinking you need to do. So that is pretty important. That is what I want to do. So without much delay, now let me get into today's session. What I would want to do is actually help you with respect to how to kind of, what is Rank Booster, how we are doing differently, etc. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help. So before that, couple of quick announcements like I always do. One good thing that we have done, like you all know, we have done a GK survey because many of you wanted me to kind of cover some specific topics that you believe you wanted more information on. I'm very, very happy to say around 45 students have replied, which is good because I'm very, very happy with the people who have requested various topics. I have the list of topics already ready with me, and we have already started creating videos on those topics that you will get a chance to kind of get them also. And the other thing is, apart from that, the PPE that I've promised you long back in May, right? In May, I promised you, I have a PPE format videos. That is, I'm going to talk about which topics you need to cover under various areas in the PPE format, person, place, event format. So these two things together, they're being connected, they are being added and connected in a VOD format. What do I mean by VOD format? Video on demand. What we thought was, we want to create a video and give it to you so that you can again and again and again watch them. So that is something that is coming up in this, along with this Rank Booster season. So while this weekly, the Wednesday sessions are meant for Rank Booster, I'll explain what I do in that. So you're going to get this VOD format released every week, one class or one video based on how they're doing. I think this is where I'm only a you can say I'm an anchor, but there are producers who are working on it. They'll give you a broad clarity. I think end of this week you'll have the first video where you will get a chance to see how this coming out. So you will have this. This is one thing that we will do throughout the season. These videos of GK, VOD and GK classes will happen regularly, GK content. So please utilize them in the best possible manner. Like I said, 120 hours of classes already done and 25-30 hours of GK already done. I would want you to ensure that those classes are kind of revised wherever needed, and it's pretty important for you to kind of, when you should revise, how do you revise also, I'll tell you. But hang on, this is a broad thing on this thing. Second thing I want to tell you is, this is something also that I've announced, ALP Premium Club. What we want to do is, we want to incentivize the students who are working hard, incentivize the Abhyas Law Prep students among you who are working hard, who are regular, who are on time, who do well. So what we're going to do is top 20 rankers from the mock class conducted in the June 1st week onwards. Okay, that is after around this thing, June 7th, 14th last. So we are going to take top 20 rankers, and based on average, it cannot be one exam. What we'll do is, we'll take the 3 exams as a cluster, and we'll kind of take an average, and we take the top 20 rankers, and those 20 rankers will be given some open house sessions, special sessions with the Abhyas directors, so that we will be able to focus on individual strategies. There will be an open house, only these 20 kids will be allowed for that, and these 20 students, these toppers can kind of talk out their concerns. We'll kind of fine tune their individual strategies. We'll tell sectionally and all that stuff. This is something of very, very useful value. We are going to do that. And please note that one important thing I want to tell you is, anyone missing the mock exams will not be considered. I want to be very clear about that. For example, if in a particular cycle of premium club class, if they have considered 3 mocks, if there's some student who has written only 2 and the third one is not written, let me tell you, will not consider you, even though you're a topper. I'll be very honest about it, because this is not about IQ only, but this is about how like disciplined you are, how focused you are. So you have to write all the mocks that are covered in that cluster, and then you have to be in the top 20. This is only to kind of motivate you, friends. Do not feel bad, and those who are in the top, you get this, and others we might see, this is like almost like a one-on-one, because there are only 20 kids and we take their queries one-on-one based on section, etc. I think this is a pretty useful tool. That's what we want to do. I hope things are clear now. Any questions on what I'm discussing now? You have questions, please ask, because once I get into the GK part, I think let's not get into again discussing CLAT and stuff. And a lot of me, while I'm doing this, I want to kind of explain one more thing. A lot of friends have in the beginning asked me, right, sir, can you give me some paper-based exams, etc. For the benefit of them, we have created PDFs, we've given that also. But the more important thing is, I hope you have all realized, CLAT itself might be online. Have you realized that? CLAT this year might be online. CLAT might become an online exam, and you having written online all these months is very, very helpful for you. So we should be very, very ready for that. Okay, Srilata Patro is asking, what about the other students? Srilata, you need to work hard and be in the top 20. Now, this is not a subject-based session that we are giving, so you do not, there is nothing like other students, you have to do well and you have to kind of prove, you have to, and whatever we are trying to do there, we are doing the regular class also, that's more like a extra help. So that is, obviously, it is a challenge for you. Yes, you try, you will be there, Srilata, I promise you, do not worry about it, okay? Now, you do it, we'll know how to help you, but focus more on this. Okay, so this CLAT might be online, let's see what happens. But like we promised, in case CLAT is offline in the last couple of exams, how do we do? We are planning all that, but let's wait and see what happens. Yes. Okay, Monica Lakshmi says, we are only batch experiencing many changes. Yes, Lakshmi, see, first of all, Lakshmi, you cannot ever compare with your juniors or seniors. That's not going to help you. As a generation, do you like when your parents say, in our generation, we did this? Your grandparents say, in our generation, like this it was. You don't like it, right? You feel like, what nonsense is this? This is generational thing. Exactly, don't do that. Exactly same thing. You have to compete with only your friends. Monica, you are going to write a CLAT exam with the 70,000 students that in your batch only. You're not going to write this exam with your senior batch or junior batch. Do not worry about that. Again, I'm telling you, your concern is valid, Monica, but the reason I'm kind of trying to temper your no concern is, it's not going to help us. You're right, but that's not going to help us, right? For us also, let me tell me, for you, Monica Lakshmi, you are having one batch of changes, but let me tell you, every year we have changes. As teachers, we have changes every year, right? It's not like, and CLAT as an exam is like prone to so many changes. And by the way, let me tell you, this year, what CLAT pattern change, not worrying about Corona and stuff, but the CLAT pattern change, and we are very happy. As teachers, we believe this is a beautiful change that has happened. Okay, right? Venkat Sai is actually, sir, Venkat Sai, my guess is end of July, beginning of August, it can happen if Corona is not going to hit us back in a big way. The way I see it, everyone spoken about this week. People are talking about second wave of Corona in the world and all that. And Chennai has already gone back to lockdown. So what I believe is, I'm assuming that will not be as they will make a heavy meal of it, but it's not going to be bad. We might not again have this thing, because India has not completed the first wave. There is a second wave. So what will happen is, we'll have to wait and see, because anyway, CLAT committee themselves announced that they'll announce it on July 1st. So we have 2-3 weeks more time. So, and they'll give at least 3 weeks time. So do not worry. The exam can only be in July, end or August beginning. And things go very bad, they might see. August, I believe it will happen anyway. Let me clarify this. Why I say that? Because August, it will definitely happen. In whatever situation, maybe they'll do online, they'll do something, but complete the exams, because they'll have to start the coursework somewhere. So August is what is the worst case. Best case is July end. So that is what I would say. So this is the broad thinking on the CLAT exam. On the please take these classes. See, so from now onwards, apart from the rank booster sessions I'm going to do for you, I'll be doing this video sessions on the areas you have asked. As I told you, I promise you that I'm going to take names of those friends who have contributed to what topics they want. Those 45 students, I'll value them, and I'm going to kind of take their names so that they understand we take it seriously, right? We'll kind of, it's more like Vividha Bharati. This person has requested for this song. Okay, anyway, which is better, online, offline? Aditi, it depends. See, frankly, there's no, everything has its own pro and con. Paper-based probably is comfortable in the sense that you can read it more comfortably. You can look at all passages at one time, etc. Online is better in one way that you do not have a tension of too much of how to do, what to do, and all that stuff. And probably one question at a time you can focus. So I believe there's no. At the end of the day, you need to be ready for both. If you, see, like our friend just said, whichever right now we should be ready for changes. And your generation, you can handle online exams much better than other things. Yes, Akshit says bubbling errors are not there in online. Absolutely. So I've seen a lot of students who make a mess of OMR in offline. So it depends. It is comfort and
doing this. But if the paper is finally going to be offline, we're going to do a session or so on how to handle the OMR, etc. Do not worry about that. That's what we're going to do toward the end. Do not worry. And we are doing the Abhyas Setu Law Prep webinars anyway. I think this weekend I'm going to do a special session, friends, because I've been doing GK anyway. Because a lot of you have been asking sectional wise, how to each section they have some questions on how to do this, how to do that. So what we're going to do is we call it CLAT strategy thing, and I'm going to do this session along with the few other faculty this weekend. This week Abhyas Setu session, webinar session would be on how to CLAT various sections and strategies, exam strategies, and sectional wise strategies and sectional wise any questions you would have. That's a beautiful session. Do not miss it. It's going to happen this Saturday, and I think that will be more like a FB live kind of session that will be informed to you. So be there and make all your questions on how to handle any section, any type of questions. Please talk it out, because that's a beautiful session that you're going to have, and be ready for that. That's a broad thinking. Any other things? Yes, Akshit also says depends on the person. Absolutely, Akshit, it depends on the kind of person. There are a lot of you who might be very comfortable with the electronic screen. Oh, some of you might only be comfortable with the paper. It depends on you. I think either ways, we are not in control. We cannot do much. You can only put the survey. CLAT committee has, CLAT consortium has asked for a survey. You put whatever answer you want and then wait for them to make a decision. You cannot obviously kind of, you can expect, you can wish for something, but do not expect it. Hey, wishing is different, expectation is different. Wish for everything, hope for everything, but expect nothing. That's what they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So always wish for everything. You can wish whatever you want, but finally you have to prepare for the worst. Anything that happens, you are ready. That's what it is. Okay. So can we go ahead, friends? Yes, absolutely. Siddharth is like already impatient. Like, come on, let's start the class. Why are we doing all this? Siddharth, but please understand, we have done enough theory. I think it's all about connecting also. That's why we are doing this. Do not worry. It is helpful. Okay. I could not bother as I appear online. Okay, yeah, it should not. We see. I'm saying if it is online, it should not bother all of you, and in fact, any one of you, because we are all been doing all ALPNs absolutely. But offline also, we'll see. If it is offline, we'll have to do last 1-2 exams. What can we do? We're thinking on various things. Only thing is, you'll have to wait and see. But anyway, let's get started. Like Siddharth has already said, let's go on, sir. Let's move on. So let's get going then. So today's session, I want to first clarify this. Yes, Silata also says yes. Move on. Yeah, I'm moving on. Come on. So. I'm going to kind of give you what I am going to do in these sessions. I do not expect the rank booster sessions to be similar to what we have done earlier. For example, in a rank booster, coming to GK, I'm sure every teacher has their own way and how they're doing it, how different from the intensive crash course, etc. But how I'm going to do differently, I'll explain my sessions. Let me first tell you, unlike your GK regular exercises, rank booster exercise, or rank booster, your test that you have done on Sunday, that paper doesn't come to me and I don't take the paper. I only take the paper just before the class. The reason I do that is I wanted to show you, for example, if I am in your place, if I take the paper, how I'm going to do it, what kind of questions I would pick up, what kind of questions I would not, and all that stuff. So I think that is far more useful now than giving you a little bit of answers, little bit of trivia, etc. So I think that I have done enough. Having said that, even today, while I'm doing this, I'll try to wherever possible, I'll add some story, trivia, background. I'll also give you homework. Yeah, homework will not change. Please understand, even in rank booster, one thing that is constant, while the detailing story, etc. might not be as earlier, but the homework, I'll keep giving you homework on each of the passage that we do in the exam also. But the new addition that I'm going to focus on rank booster, unlike your just the intensive sessions, is in these live classes of rank booster. What I want to focus on is a 3-step approach, and I'm going to, it's a very explosive approach. Okay? Can you tell me what does IED stands for? IED stands for, yes, IED. What does IED stands for? Come on, GK friends. IED. Think explosion. That will give you an idea. IED. Come on. IED. Actually, I said think explosion. Think explosion. I gave that hint. Integrated explosive device. Absolutely. Panjana, it's more like, it's a bomb. It's a bomb that people kind of create. Okay. It's a bomb. Explosive. That explosion. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm sure you would have heard of it in this thing. Himanshi, that is, come on. You cannot use IED for whatever I just said. I put it there, but that is my acronym. But broadly, first IED stands for explosive device, right? So this is the bombs that people create. Let's create our own bomb, but a positive bomb, a useful bomb. That's what I'm trying to say. So the bomb that I'm going to give you today is RIED, which is I'm going to do in rank booster class in the next 8-10 sessions, I don't know, till the client exam, whenever we do these sessions, what we are going to do is, yes, some Panchanya, you got it, and you can improve the exact terminology, don't worry, I want the context, right? So now let's focus on saying, hey, I'm going to do the 3 things for you in these classes, right? So it is very, very, very important for you to understand. What I would want to do is, I'm going to give you 3 steps in these classes. Every exam that we do, I'm going to do the paper with you. You do it on Sunday, I'm going to do it with you on this Wednesday. The paper is actually given to me just an hour back or something. What I will do is, I have first step would be identification, the core of the session, core of the exam. In the exam, GK student, what you should do, identify those questions that you should do. Identify those questions you should do. Second would be, eliminate answers in those questions that you might not be able to do, but at least do some guesswork. And the third, we have to learn which questions to dump, which questions very clearly to dump. So you have to select the questions, eliminate the answers where possible, and there are some questions where we need to dump. Very simply put, L1, L2, L3. Easy, intermediate, difficult. I'm sure same language you can have. So I am going to do this with you. Every exam, will that help you? Do you think it's helpful apart from the general knowledge answers, etc.? I think this is pretty important for you, because as someone who is getting into the CLAT season, I think this is more useful for you. That's what I've done. Enough of classes already. I've done 11-12 classes on theory. Now the next 6 to 8 sessions, I'm going to focus on this exam strategy. That's what my broad goal in this session is. Okay, and if you have any specific doubts and more, you can always research, get back to me. That's all okay. And I've told you, you want to put a general doubt, put it in discussion forum. You want to send something to me, you can always send to me personally. I've already given my coordinates on Twitter. You can come to me on that. So anyway, getting back. So today's session, first what we'll do is, I'm going to take out the paper in front of you, because it's a paper you've already done. I'm sure you can look at the screen and we can do that. It's also available to you on your ePDF, online PDF format. So let's kind of look at this, what we should do. And one more thing, before I get started, let's talk about, this is fine, this is our approach. I hope I've clearly mentioned my approach. What is the fundamental difference between GK section attempting and other sections? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me? What is the fundamental difference between how we attempt GK and how we attempt other sections? We have discussed it enough number of times. Let me see. I at least want 3 points. What are the fundamental differences between how you kind of, yes, Akhil Surya, right? Minimum reading, speed. Okay. Basically, passage reading is less important, no important. Yes, absolutely. That is done. Yes, what else? What else? What else? That is one. I said 3 points. I want 3 points. I said 3 points. We don't, that is all of you are saying that. That's fine. That's only one thing. Okay. Right. Memory, no. I said one is reading less, and less time. Okay, I'll think of it as 2 points, but this guesswork may help. Okay, first read questions fastly. Okay, Himanshi, right. You can guess the answers logically. Okay, right. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Sai Krishna. We have spoken about time and reading. The other thing that I want to say is order. I did a session, if you remember, I spoke on a detailed session on how to kind of, I think recently I did a session, right, where order of the things also in one of the online explanation videos, but one of the mocks in May, we have done it so that before we start rank booster, we thought we'll give you an idea. I think All India Open Mock CLAT, we have done a detailed video analysis. I've done it. If you remember, I said order also. Order is, we should, how many of you are doing GK the first section? How many of you are doing GK the first section even now? Okay, Guru Priya says first. Okay, not great, friends. This is wrong. I told you, yes, Akhil, what did I tell you? GK should never be the first section in the new format. Yes, GK should always be second or fourth. I'm saying please sprinkle down GK between the very heavy passage reading sessions. You have an English passage reading, you have a legal passage reading, you have a logical passage reading. Please do this section in between them. Do not do continuously. So I'm doing, you do GK, then you will do what? Do all heavy passages later. That is going to kind of fry your mind. Your peja fry ho jayega. That's not good. Anyway, so these are the 3 things we said. We spoke about reading less. Our reading is not important. I mean, passage need not be dealt in detail. Second is time we need to give as compared to other areas, while the number of questions is still the highest. Number of time should be given the least. And third, like I said, is the order. The order that I want all of you to do is do it second, but don't do it of the first passage. Do it somewhere in between. Okay, let's get started. The other thing that I was looking for, and in fact, this is fine. Order, timing, passage reading, but there's one thing that I wanted to really ask. I thought someone will tell, but no one has said. First one, yeah, that is fine, that is correct, but I'm looking for one more. I said 3 things, right? We spoke about time and less reading. Second, we said order. I have one more difference, one more unique difference with respect to this thing, GK. Okay, let me tell you. I think this is a little out of syllabus question, so I do not want to burden you with the answer. Let me tell you one thing, friends. The very important difference between GK and other areas in CLAT is, in other areas you would select a passage, you would not select a passage. For example, you kind of take a passage and say, is this passage worth doing or not? You do a quick 2-minute thing and say. In Will you do that in legal, in English? You will do that. We'll see a passage and say this is difficult passage, easy passage, and leave it, etc. Absolutely. In GK, you cannot do that. GK, the good thing for in GK for us is we need not waste time in order of passages. Arey, kaun sa passage pehle kare, kaun sa passage second kare. Is that needed? For GK, we don't need. GK, we are bindas. GK, we are bindas. We are happy. Why? We say, for us all passages are same, beta. We are not really worried about. Yes, there's no difficult passage, there's no easy passage. We are difficult and easy questions. What I'm saying is something might be an unknown area, but doesn't make it difficult passage. So that's a broad difference between us and the other areas, GK and other areas. I hope I'm clear, friends. For GK, you are not going to focus on reading in detail. Second, we have to spend a lot of less time and order. And third, as I said, here we are not going to select the passage. Select the passage. I hope I'm clear. Yes. Srilata says with the same base. I don't know what did you mean by same base, but yeah, right. Yes, yes. But it takes less time. Yes, Himanshu. I don't know what. Have you got what I said? We should kind of do all passages. We cannot leave a passage completely. Unlike legal, unlike English, where we might decide not to do that. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. I hope you understand. See, sometimes for some of you, I might be repeating, but this is important because I want to drill it in your minds. Again, I'm telling you, knowing is not the same as knowing is not enough, friends. I mean, I don't know how many of you have been exposed to learning ladder concept, but there's something called muscle memory. Knowing a thing is not enough. No, you have to, your body, your muscles should know it. Your mind should not know it. Your muscles should know it because it has to be ingrained in you so that you do it day in, day out. Success, great batsmen, great people, great athletes, or great anyone is not great because of what everyone knows the same thing. But the thing is how they're able to do it again and again and again. That's why it becomes magic. So all of you are reading from me, doing it same from books, same teachers. The thing is, some of you might, one of the students will all obviously turn into All India rank 1. But what is the difference? The difference is not anything else, but the difference is they have converted whatever they know in the mind into the thing of muscles. All muscles in the body know it. So what happens is they're able to implement better, execute better. That's why I kind of revise to ensure that the knowledge seeps in from just the conscious memory to subconscious memory to muscle memory. Okay. Anyway, let's get back. So now that we have done this, I've set the background of the session. So let's start with the passage. I'll take every question that are there in front of me. I'm going to go through in a quick manner only. Please be very, very cautious, careful. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. But specific to that area, this is not a researched class. Like I said, I'm focused more on the approach. Okay. I'll give you homework. I'll tell you what also you can research on that, etc. Right. Don't only read, implement it. Absolutely. Let's get started. First passage we had. Let's see. What do we have? Current affairs, GK, passage 20, German Chancellor, Forbes list. Absolutely. The moment I read the first thing, I know this passage is all about Forbes list. Forbes top list. Let's go to the questions. Let's not waste time. I will not waste time. This is how I do it. I'm reading it in front of you. Who is mentioned in X? The moment I mentioned in X, I am forced to kind of go back. Right? I have to go back. Mention in X. German Chancellor X. Probably the lollipop most question of this exam. I think most probably this is the most lollipop question of this exam probably. Who is the German Chancellor? German head of the state. I think Germany is a big country. We know it. Angela Merkel, option 829. Option A is the right answer. You know the answer. That is not very important for me. But more important is, I want to say this is an easy question. This should have been definitely attempted. Like I said, IED. You remember IED? We said identify, eliminate, dump. This is an identify question. Pakka do question. Yeah, and meaningless. I think I've seen the passage. It has mentioned a couple of times. That's how idiotic paper setups were. It might happen in CLAT also. So you are lucky if it mentions. But we should be very careful. I think they should have put a lot more Merkels, Aditi. But yeah, that is unnecessary. But anyway, I got this thing. Let's go to the next one. Who among the following is in the list of world's most powerful women from India, as mentioned in Y? Now, this is an example of a question. 30th question is an example where we do not even need that to be there. Why? We need not go back to the passage again, even though Y is mentioned, because already question is there. Who is the world's most powerful women from India? Game over. Now look at the options. Nita Ambani, Sushmita Sen. I can definitely, this is where I would say, even if you not know the answer, you can make a little elimination. Answer cannot be Sushmita Sen. Answer cannot be Nita Ambani. Now, Smriti Irani, Simula Sitaraman, political people. Nita Ambani could have been an answer, but most powerful women from India, obviously someone in politics. Out of the Smrita and Nirmala also, currently the one who is in a higher position right now is Nirmala. So I would say, even if I have not remembered the answer, I can guess it. I know the answer anyway in my case, but still I'm trying to tell you how to kind of know the answer if you do not know. This is an eliminate question, second level of question, you can guess. Okay. In the recent list of Forbes, which woman of Indian origin is ranked 18th in the list of America's richest women? Example of a wonderful dump question. This is a question I would not care to know the answer. Okay. You have read somewhere, you by hearted it, you know it, good for you. I don't care because we are asking about 18th somewhere in the list of America's richest women. Believe me, this is an example of a question. If you don't do, I'm proud of you. If you don't do, I'm not unhappy with you. If you don't do, you're not going to lose much. You can still be the topper. Okay. Anyway, the right answer for this is Jayasri Ullal. And there's one more lady, by the way, homework for you. Yeah, you can always do research. There's one other Indian origin lady who is in the 23rd rank in the same America's Richest Women list. She's also there in the options. Any guesses? Anyone has done that research after the exam? I don't know. I wish after the exam you did not wait for the thing. Okay. Jayashree Ullal, we have already discussed. I'm discussing about one more person. I said she's in the options also. That's a hint I gave you also. Come on. Come on. Huh? Option A, Nirja Sethi, right answer. Yes, Muni of Reddy. Nirja is 23rd rank, that they said, and the Jayashree is 18th rank. Okay. I said this is not a question that you might not be, the thing is not very easy to know. That's okay. You should not feel bad. Okay. Let's go. 29, 30 easy questions. 31 difficult question. Need not do. 32. Let's come to 32, right? Who topped the Forbes 2019 list of world's highest paid athletes? Highest paid athletes. Now, this is an example of a question. Either you know the answer. If you don't know, you can at least make a guesswork. You should know the answer. If you don't know, make a guesswork. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Roger Federer, frankly speaking, Floyd Mayweather. By the way, they belong to which sports? First homework for you, 32. They all belong to which sports? First, Floyd Mayweather belongs to which sport? Okay, boxing. Absolutely. Mayweather is a boxing. Ronaldo and Messi for football, and Federer for tennis. Okay. By the way, football players are among the highest paid in the world. Sometimes more than golf, tennis also. But anyway, the correct answer in this case is Lionel Messi. Currently, Lionel Messi is in the the right answer is Lionel Messi. Actually, Messi is the world's highest paid athlete in the Forbes list. Underline the word Forbes list. You might we are talking about Forbes list. That's very, very important. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay, you're talking about current year. See, the question very clearly says 2019. So we'll go with whatever they said. You can, yeah, that's a good thing. He says who in 2020. If the 2022 list is available, check out who. That's a homework for you next list, because that can come in the exam. So like Akshit is telling you, all people are saying 2020, please check. That can be 2020 list. Federer could be the one, but you can check out. Federer, in a way, I would say, is entering the swan song of his life, right? He's entering the swan song of his life in the last few this thing. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I think next one is probably which Indian is the sole one, under the word sole one, only one to feature in the Forbes 19 highest. Again, look at highest paid athletes. Probably an easy question, probably a very easy question. 32, I would say, little tricky. 30, 32 guesswork, but 33 again should be as easy as 29. From the Virat Kohli, Mithali Raj, PV Sindhu, Sania Mirza. I mean, who is the most paid in India? Highest paid in India? Cricket. And obviously in cricket, male cricketers, Virat Kohli, there's no doubt. If there was a Dhoni, I would have still said it's a little difficult question. And there is no Dhoni. How is it a difficult question, you tell me? It's a very lallu question. Lallu question. That 29, 33 must answer questions, 30, 32 possible answer questions. The only 32 also I'll say tricky, but 29, 30, 33. In this passage, anyone who does not get 29, 30 and 33 right, believe me, you're not my students. If you are not my students, the minimum questions you should get right out of this passage is 3. Will you agree? 3 questions you should get it right. 29, 30 and 33 must get right. 31, 32 maybe. 32 there are multiple this thing, but 30 and am I clear? 3 questions you should definitely get right. 3 questions you should definitely get right. Okay, clear? See, we have identified 3. Let me tell you, I don't know how many of you feel this or not. Out of 150, you have to get to top NLSU or NALSA top 100 rank. You need not get 150 out of 150. You need not even get 130 out of 150. If you are a 115, 120 plus, you're safe. You can get there. So in GK, you need not get all right. The idea is to kind of get right. If you can get a 25 plus in GK, it's a good score. I'll show you also analysis, but I think 3 from this passage is possible. 4th is may do. Only one question I would say is leave dump question. I said D, right? The dump questions will count dump, because it will tell you dump questions are those questions you need not attempt. Will you agree? Are you all fine with me? Are you following me? Right? Right. So this is a passage I would say it's a easy passage overall, I would say, and they have given Forbes list, etc. They mentioned the answer also in the passage itself. Sometimes they do that. Even CLAT people do that. We Abhyas Law Prep team have asked also in some of the exercises also they did where answer is mentioned in the passage. Ask them why are you doing this, etc. The product team tells me, sir, even in the CLAT sometimes they're doing that. We want students to kind of identify that also. So it might not happen all the time, but one passage might happen. You should be ready for that. Am I clear? You should be able to identify the answer from the passage also. As GK, we are not interested, but sometimes it might happen. Sometimes what they're doing in the, why I'll tell you is, in the CLAT sample questions thing, CLAT Consortium official sample questions, while the answer is not mentioned in the passage, the answer is mentioned can be an answer. So I'm saying, so sometimes answer is there in what they give. We are also trying to train you for that. Am I clear about that? Friends, everyone okay? Okay, let's go ahead. Second passage. Yes, let's go ahead. Second passage. Taiwan's president, landslide victory. So automatically this is a question about international politics. First one is about sports or Forbes Powerful. Second one is all about international politics. Very clear. Taiwan. Okay. Go more. Let's now look at what is there. 34th. I would say this is not an easy passage as compared to passage one because it's little international politics, etc. Let's see. Who is the Taiwan's president? Now this is a question. Who won a recent second rule? Who is the Taiwan's president? This you should know. I mean, Taiwan is an important country. Taiwan is an important country. Answer is option A, Tsai Ing-wen. Tsai Ing-wen. So I would say, like I said, we always try to create a kind of Akshit DPP. What is DPP? What are you trying to tell me? Okay, but we have to create our own mnemonic. Okay, party. You're trying to good. I'm happy. See, guys, I'm very happy because you know the next question I'm going to ask you. You know the next question I'm going to ask you. Both, by the way, we have two things, right? We have also mentioned opposite party. There's an opposite party. We have her party was to give homework, but you have mentioned already. Opposite party is KMT. So these both parties, because you see, even that can be a question. Okay, the party she belongs to and the opposition party is KMT, and opposition rival is also known who is pro-China. So she is not pro-China. So Taiwan as a country is against China because they are like a country who have problems with China. Okay, homework for you. Homework for you. What is the origin of the problem with China? And you'll actually be surprised to know Taiwan has an official name called China. In fact, there's a question also, I think, yeah. And China had to name itself as not China, but People's Republic of China. China is not called China in official parlance, it's called People's Republic of China, whereas Taiwan calls itself Republic of China. Now I'm saying if they were both these things, which did come, yes, Republic of China is Taiwan, People's Republic of China is China. That's an interesting context in the world, right? So we should not call Taiwan Taiwan, we should call it Republic of China. Or the China that we all know, which is People's Republic of China. Anyway, let's go ahead. And let's go to the next one. Which of the following regarding Taiwan is underline the word incorrect? Anyone who did not read that incorrect, you're gone. If they did not even say not correct. Right? Taiwan is more informal name, actually. Everyone knows that. But the thing is, it's about it doesn't. It is not an official name in the parlance of UN and all other stuff. Okay, let's look at incorrect. Underline the word incorrect. If you did not read the word incorrect, you're gone. Okay, Taiwan is not a member of UN, which is wrong because Taiwan is a member of UN. Taiwan has a lot of grand standing in the world. Yes, China does not. China and some other countries right now, China specifically, China and China friends. Homework for you. Look at which all countries do not give Taiwan government or Taiwan a sovereignty republic standing. So please check that. So option A is actually true, but the question we are looking for, which of the thing is incorrect, right? Okay, Akshit says both are incorrect. Akshit, please understand, A is a contested thing. Why I still call it correct is, please understand, when you say not a member of UN, what do you mean by not a member of UN? It is not incorrect. It is by itself. You have to understand where all it is there. It is not like per se. It is not the main body because China is in the veto council, 5 veto council. You have to ask yourself, why is this mentioned? Taiwan might have a other kind of membership, partial membership. The broad idea is that. So that's what I'm giving the question as homework. I'm giving you homework. I'm giving you 35A. I'll repeat 35th A. I'm repeating. Homework for you is which all countries in the world recognize Taiwan as a republic? Which all countries in the world do not recognize Taiwan as a republic? And with respect to UN, what level of membership Taiwan has? That's a homework for you. Am I clear, Akshit? So yes. But the question is incorrect. Please read incorrect. Akshit, yes, incorrect. Underline the word. It is incorrect. Question is, they are asking you which of the following is incorrect, not correct. Please note it. Okay. And see, this 35th question, for example, might not be a easy question, but it's definitely a elimination question. Han Kuo-yu is the main rival. That is mentioned in passage only. So B is right, A is right, and you can look at A in detail. Homework I gave you, detailed homework I gave you. Let's go to the next one. C. The capital of Taiwan is Taichung. This is the easiest. What is the capital of Taiwan? Taipei. Taipei. Chinese Taipei is a very popular word you all would have heard of. Taipei is the right answer. So this is what I would want you to note. I'm just trying to get back. So Taichung is wrong. So automatically we can say, what can we confidently say? We can say that Taichung is wrong answer. Option C is definitely wrong, and that's the answer. Option C. India does not maintain official. This is a meaningless blabber here. The typing was not correct. It should be India does not maintain relations with Taiwan, but it's not true because India has a very strategic relation with Taiwan because Taiwan is the opponent of China. opponent of your opponent is your friend, right? That's how we should do. Okay, right. Taichung is one of the main cities, but not the Ligita, right? That's good, good, good. But Taipei is the main this thing. I am trying to kind of open a whiteboard for you because my pen. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So 30. What is the question number we are doing, friends? 35. 35. Like I said, C is the only statement which is the, I mean, wrong statement and hence the right answer. Incorrect statement and hence the right answer. Taipei is the thing that I wanted to discuss. Okay. Now, I've given a homework already. Standing of the which all governments are actually allowing the thing, which all governments are not allowing. That's what we discussed. Let's go to the next one, friends. 36 now. Which is the official name of China? We discussed it already. What is the discussed already? 36. Official name of Taiwan. Yes, what is the answer we said? It's the actual China in the, I mean, official name they have is China, Republic of China. They call themselves Republic of China, ROC. Please note that. So right answer for this is D, friends. D, ROC. I want you to note this carefully, ROC, and there's something called PROC. Republic of China is Taiwan. People's Republic of China is China. Understand this carefully. This is the difference. PROC, People's Republic of China, is the actual China, as we all know informally. And ROC is the name that is used officially by Taiwan. Am I clear? Please note it. Please note it. Understand the fundamental difference between China and Taiwan. Let's go to the next one, friends, quickly. Let's go to the next one. So 36, I would say. See, I'm not able to mark it in the passage, hence I'm doing it again in the board. This thing, whenever the tablet, whenever this thing comes, I'm doing it. Don't worry. Let's go to the next one. 35, 36, we are done. I hope it's clear. 36D, 35C. Let's go to 37 now. Let's look at 37. 37, let's see what is the question that we have in 37. Yeah. What is Taiwan miracle related to? This is very interesting. This again, I would say, this what is Taiwan miracle related to? Answer is option A. Now this is where you can, those who are a little, this is an example of a GK question, not so much of a current affairs question. Why? Because it is not asking you, the Taiwan miracle is not some God spiritual divine miracle. It is to say how Taiwan has come up in they have entered industrialization. They have massive industrialization. The only country in the world is able to kind of rival China when it comes to manufacturing industrial growth is Taiwan. That is why we are talking about it. Rohan is talking about a concept, four tigers. Rohan, I don't want to kind of, nice that you mentioned it. So you can check what is it. Great Leap Forward in China. You can check why Rohan says four tigers. That's a homework. Rohan, you don't explain here what is four tigers, how is it connected to what the question Taiwan miracle we are talking about. That you can research. That's a homework for you. Let's get to the next one. Yeah, Taiwan government has a representative office in India known as. Now this is an example of a Lallu question. Again, elimination. I said sometimes you don't know trivia answer directly. See, it's not like Taiwan president cone, Taiwan capital cone, but this is an example of a question where you did not go, you did not dump the question. You can always try to eliminate. Look at the answers: economic and cultural center, economic and cultural center of Taiwan. Frankly speaking, the answer has to be either between A or C. We cannot have only any two countries will not only have cultural relations, they have to have economic also. So the right answer has to be either A or C. Out of them you can make a guesswork. The right answer is option A, Taipei Economic and Cultural Center in India. And you can say why is A better answer? Because it is in India. There's a word in India, so that's what you can say. But probably I would say A is the right answer. Now you see second passage. When we discussed the passage starting, I said it's an international passage, probably difficult as compared to earlier passage. In this, I still did not take a single dump question. There's no dump question in this. All 5 questions in this, I said, are doable questions. I would not call them easy. I would say 36 is easy. I'm just counting for your benefit, friends. I would say 34 easy, 36 easy, definitely doable. But and all 5 are doable questions. There's no dump question in this. Two very easy questions, 3 doable questions. Will you agree? Will you agree? I'm going to show the statistics by question later. First, I'm going to do all the things so that you understand how to do, what to leave, etc. Right? So let's go to the next passage quickly. Now let's see third passage. Supreme Court dispensation of private property. Yes, automatically we know there's a question. There's a question on Supreme Court judiciary, judicial property related. Yes. Let's look at this. This is a beautiful thing. Constitution and stuff. At the moment I get this hint, I need not read the passage. Let's go to the option. Let's go to the questions. Right. Which of the following is true regarding the Article 300A? Now, let's Article 300A, if you know the GK, good. A lot of my say, sir, now this means I have to remember. No, if you look in the passage itself, it's very clear. Article 300A is being discussed. This entire thing is about right to property. Right to property. In fact, I'll tell you, I would say this is this is a question that's covered in the, we have already covered this in one of the classes. If you remember, right to property is discussed in the classes. Do you remember? Right to property was covered in detail in one of the classes. What did we say? Right to property was earlier a fundamental right. Yes, it was a fundamental right. Later it was converted into a constitutional right through an amendment, through the mini constitution amendment. Do you remember all that? Indira Gandhi brought this amendment, made a lot of changes. In those changes, what happened is this right to property, which was a it was changed from being a fundamental right. It is just made a legal right or constitutional right. It is no more a fundamental right. So we discussed all this. So I'm sure whatever we learned earlier will come into play here. I'm sure even if at least couple of questions will be, we can make it very easy. Look at which of the following is true about this right to property, Article 300. It is not a fundamental right. That is correct. It is not an absolute nature. That is also correct. It was added, again added as in it is changed, etc., to the 44th amendment. So answer is all the above. So wherever there is all the above, you will be tempted to answer all the above, but be careful. Generally, all the above, 80% of the time, all the above is the right answer. If you don't know, you can pick it up. I have nothing. You can take that risk. Nothing wrong. But there, you should be very cautious about it. Right? You should be very cautious about it. In which part of the Constitution right to property was protected before 1978? This is an example of not current affairs, but super smart GK question. Because they're asking you before 1978. Automatically, it means before the emergency, before Indira Gandhi provision, before the 44th Amendment, etc. That means it was in fundamental rights. Fundamental rights is in which part, friends? Fundamental rights in Constitution is in which part? If you know that, you are done. Absolutely. So that is how you can know the answer. This is an example. Like I said, our discussion earlier will help you here. Okay, let's go to this. Which of the following is a remedy available? This is a beautiful question, I would say. This is where I'm going to kind of teach you a little for benefit of you who do not know it already. Remedy is basically legal remedy, ability to kind of any incorrects that is done to us through private people or government, we can go to the court and get support. That is remedy, legal remedy. Legal remedies are available for different kind of rights at various different measure, right? You can have a petition, writ petitions put under two types of articles. Article 32, for example, is more for fundamental rights. These are more powerful writs. Any kind of absolute fundamental rights which are affected, you can go. Article 226 is more like other rights, non-fundamental rights, more like a constitutional legal rights. You can go there. So understand the fundamental difference between those two. Now 41, there's a both A and B. Both A and B can never be the answer. Why both A and B cannot be the answer? Please understand. Soumya, it cannot be. That is wrong, Soumya. C is not the answer because a right cannot be both fundamental as well as non-fundamental. It either fundamental or non-fundamental. You have to be very clear about it. It cannot be both. It was a fundamental right before 1978, before the constitutional amendment. At that time, it would have been Article 32, but now it is not a fundamental right. It's only a constitutional right, legal right. Hence, the answer is 41 is B. Understood? So this is where you can see how knowledge, this is not pure current affairs. This is the knowledge oriented. I would say actually some of this can come with the legal section also. Am I clear, friends? Understood? Let's go ahead then. Let's go to the next one. Let's see the next one. Which law governs the acquisition of land by government on public purpose? Now, this is an example of a law acquisition. It was made, the changes were made to it as recently as Manmohan Singh government. Option A, right answer. Land Acquisition Act 2013 was enacted. And then later Narendra Modi has come in, they tried making changes, etc. A lot of changes, but act was made in 2013. Land acquisition was made in 2013. Please note that. This is a GK. This is a current affairs question. It's a current affairs. Let's go to the next one. Which article talks about acquisition of land and compensation? Now, like we discussed already, it was mentioned in along with the right to property, original right to property in Article 31A in the part 3. Okay. Later, it is not made part of it. Is there, but it is not considered a fundamental right. Now, this is an example of again a passage. I would not say dump level. See, please understand, I'm only putting dump to a question which is impossible to answer. I believe it is, when I say impossible, even that question you might have read somewhere, but idea is there a chance for a CLAT student to generally know? Less chance. You would say I'll identify those kind of questions overall. Am I clear? Let's see, identify those questions. Easy passage, will you agree? This is an easier passage than the earlier ones. Only last couple of passages, this is definitely easy for CLAT students. If you are legal mind, if you are someone fundamental rights, if you have that. If you do not have that, the 2-3 questions which will go above your head. It's not possible. Yes, it's an easy passage, I would say. Let's go to the next one, friends. Let's see what happens. Next passage. Automotive industry, impact, force of adverse factors, emission standards. Okay, this is important about business economy, emission standards, automotive. Game over. Let's now look at the passage. Now, this is, I wish this passage I've done it in one of the class exercises. I could have given a lot more beautiful story, background, etc. But I hope, across the world, yes, across the world, I would want to say this passage is pretty important. I'm not able to spend a lot of time on this passage, but I want to give you some broad strokes of knowledge that I want you to kind of research. Please understand emission standards. Underline the word emission standards in the passage. I have this emission standards is basically automobiles across the world are becoming the biggest pollutants. Will you agree? Automobiles, your cars, bikes, etc., etc., they're becoming pollutants. So what happens is the automobile industry, vehicle industry, they say every now and then they're trying to improve the emission standards. What is the emission standard? Emission standard is to kind of make the makers, automakers, vehicle makers, to kind of ensure the emission, that is outcoming exit pollution, the smoke, the thing that comes out finally, has much lesser pollution than earlier model. That is a simple fundamental of emission standards. And every country, for example, have different kind of emission standard. It's not like we don't have an international standard as of now, but for example, Europe follows Euro standards, Euro this thing, and India similarly, every country based on it. Because if you try to follow Euro standard, believe me, Indian companies cannot manufacture at an emission standard of an international level right now. Like that, so what happens is some countries, based on the level of emission standard they have some levels. In India, we call it BS, Bharat Stage. BS stands for Bharat Stage. Okay. BS is basically the emission standard term. Bharat stage 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Bharat stage 1 is one level of emission. Bharat stage next level will become more stringent emission. That means lesser emission. You have to decrease the emissions. That's the broad idea. So till recently the vehicles that we were using, India's vehicles, Indian manufacturers, Indian companies were manufacturing vehicles in BS4. Bharat stage 4 are the current running vehicles. Please understand, Bharat stage 4 is a current running vehicles. So government of India has approved, and currently they are approved for Bharat stage 6. In fact, in the passage also BS4 is there. So from 2020 April, we want to kind of say BS6. You might say homework for you, what happened to BS5? That's a homework for you. Homework for you, what happened for BS5? Okay, why BS4 to BS6 directly? It is very much like Apple moving from one model to other model without a number in between, but you can think of it. That's a research. Anyway, coming back, that's a more like a trivia homework. Coming to the conceptual thing. So BS6 is starting from April 2020. So after April 2020, BS4 cannot be manufactured. BS4, old BS4 vehicles were worried. Will they be allowed? They will be allowed, but no new BS4 vehicles will be manufactured and sold. Am I clear about this? That's a broad story. Let's now go to the thing. Which emission standard is mentioned in X? This is a question you should be very careful. Answer can be BS4 or BS6 based on BS4 is old standard, BS6 is new standard. If I am a student, I will rush back to passage, or more important, look at the options. BS9, BS11, sorry, BS11, BS5, BS6, BS7. Are BS3, 4 ही नहीं है. Answer, I need not go into passage also. If the passage, I have to go to the passage back and say, is it about BS4 or BS6? If there are two of them, only one of them is there. Why waste your time? Do not waste time. Okay. Second one. Next question. Which is the first two-wheeler manufacturer in India to receive certification? That is BS6 certification. Now here is where you should know the current affairs. Hero Motocorp, Hero company, Hero is the right answer. Hero Motocorp is the right answer. Let's go to the next one, friends. Bharat stage standards. The Bharat stage standards, which of them is true? Again, this kind of question, when there is all the above, we can say most of the time it's all the above, but still, environment ministry responsible, that is right. BS stage standards, emission standard, that is right. Implementation of norms, pollution levels are expected to come down. Easy lallu question. I would say this is a lallu question. Will you agree? A lallu question. This kind of questions you should not leave. Oh, worry, being scared will not help. Now, what is the major difference between BS4 and the new X? That is nothing but BS6 in the quantity of. This is a very, very interesting thing. The right answer is option A. The big difference in emissions come. See, emissions, pollutants, we have CO2 emission and we have sulfur, all this kind of stuff, right? So among all the ones that are coming out, which one is being reduced from one stage to other stage? So the biggest change is happening. The biggest improvement is happening in sulfur. Sulfur BS4 standard was very, very, the threshold was higher. Now the threshold is come down. They're trying to bring it down. So this you would know only and only if you know the thing, I would say. But still, I would not say dump, but dump level question nahi hai, but I would say little difficult only. Okay, let's go to the next one. Which was the first Indian city to supply ultra clean Bharat stage 6 fuel? This also you can make a little guess. Answer has to be, somewhere in Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore, but I would say here these kind of stuff happens more in Delhi because of political capital. So these things have to be. Political capital will try to kind of prove it itself before any other part. So right answer for this is Delhi. So I would say not as easy passage as the earlier one, but if you know a stage pollution, you could have answered 2 to 3 questions easily. Others are all trivia. If you Hero Motocorp, Delhi, these things if you know only you do. But if you know the concept of Bharat stage, I'm sure you would have answered 44, you would have answered 46, you would have answered 47. 2 to 3 questions easy. Remaining questions doable. I will not say dump, but definitely this is a difficult passage as compared to the earlier right to property passage. Agreed, friends. I've given some homework. Please research that. Okay, what happened to BS5? What is the story? Why BS5 is shunted and why do we have only BS6? Okay, let's go ahead to the next one. Next question. Yeah, next passage, friends. Let's come to the passage. Let's see what do we have here. All right. Chief Minister Hemant Soren withdraw from Patalgadi sedition case. Cabinet meet Maharashtra CM initiative. Yeah, another sedition. So this is all about sedition. Underline the word sedition. Sedition. Can anyone tell me what is sedition, by the way? What is sedition? What does sedition mean? Sedition case. What is it all about? What it's all about, friends? Sedition case. Sedition is basically a case. Yes, sedition means against, not speaking, friends. Actually, it is about you are going against the country. Sedition means you're trying to bring down the country. You're trying to break the country. Sedition is a case that is put on you when they believe you are the enemy of the country. It's basically enemy of the country, being against the country. That's what it's broadly about. That's what I want you to know. Okay. Now, sedition is used in India in a very, very, very no very easy manner, easy-going manner. Governments, whenever they find someone, yes, traitor kind of stuff, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So what happens is governments in India, state governments, etc., they try to use it in a very easy manner, and this passage is all about that. This passage, a little very opinionated. The passage is very opinionated, but still, it's a passage says how sedition is loosely applied in some state. That's a question about. This should be easy passage if it is about regular news. Otherwise, difficult. Let's see. Let's look at the questions. I don't know. Let's see the first question. Let's see what do we have. Which of the following state is mentioned in X? I think this is the thing that we have. Let's see. 49th question. It's an easy question, I would say. Why would I say easy question? Because the passage itself is asking which, it is very clearly asking which this thing. 49. Right? Let's look at this. Which the question is about, right? Which one we are doing, right? Okay, let's look at this. Right answer is Jharkhand because it's mentioned the CM already. CM of the state. CM of the state. Who is out? Raghubar Das. Absolutely. Right answer, Sam Panchjanya. So, yes, CM and outgoing CM is Raghubar Das. That's the question. Let's go to the second one. 50th question. Which following sedition case is mentioned in Y? So, we are discussing about two states. Jharkhand state sedition case and Maharashtra state sedition case. Jharkhand state sedition case is named what? It is mentioned in the passage. Can anyone tell me Jharkhand state sedition case? Jharkhand state sedition case is mentioned as what? Against tribals. Patalgadi. Absolutely note the name Patalgadi. पातालगाड़ी जितना न्यूज में है उससे ज्यादा न्यूज तो ऑब्वियसली मुंबई महाराष्ट्र केस इज देयर महाराष्ट्र दिस इज एनीवन हु नोज दिस यू विल नो द आंसर इज भीमा कोरेगांव केस वेयर पीपल वर रिबेलिंग अगेंस्ट द थिंग RA forest case also is very important. So homework for you, you would have to research exactly what happened in Patalgadi, Bhima Koregaon and RA forest. RA forest is a case. RA forest is a case connected more to environment and protection. Bhima Koregaon is connected to sedition. Patalgadi is connected to sedition. Please look at that. Am I clear? 50 option A right answer. Bhima Koregaon. But homework for you is discuss, research what are these cases about. RA forest case, Bhima Koregaon case, Patalgadi case. Am I clear? Following me? I hope it's clear. Fine. Let's go ahead then. Let's go to the next one. 51st question, friends. 51st question. Which of the following in IPC deals with sedition? Now this is a knowledge question. This is a GK question, not current affairs question. If you know, answer is 124A sedition. This is important. This is 124A. 124A. That's very important. Let's go to Panchayat 1996 applies in which of the following states? Basically, the entire opposition from people, tribals is against this only. This is what it is. This again you can mention, this is where you can say this case is entirely about Jharkhand. This is where you can be a little smart and you can make a little intelligent guess in this. Jharkhand is the right answer. Jharkhand is the right answer. And the 53rd is a Lallu question again. Jharkhand is carved out from which state? 53rd question, look at it. The Jharkhand state is carved out from which state? Answer is absolutely Bihar. Bihar, see, 3 states formed in 2001. 3 states. Bihar has divided into Bihar and Jharkhand. Madhya Pradesh is divided into Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And which is the third state? Uttar Pradesh is divided into Uttar Pradesh and Uttaranchal. Okay, these 3 divisions happened in 2001. So Jharkhand is formed from Bihar. That's the thing. Let's go to the next one. Battle of 1818. It's mentioned. This is an example. Maybe if you know the history, fine. Otherwise, you can leave it. Again, I would still not call it dump. See, for me, dump means something that is not. If you don't know it, you should not feel bad. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, for me, dump questions are very low. Medium questions could be high. This is a medium question. Right answer is Anglo-Maratha War. Right answer is Anglo-Maratha War. So this is again I'll say, if you don't know, I'll not feel very bad. So for that thing I'll call it dump. If you don't know, I'm fine. Not knowing it doesn't make you bad. You cannot become you can still become a class topper. I'm only talking about if you want to be in the top 100 in the country. If you don't know this question, that's still okay. Okay, right. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead. This is static GK. I'm fine. So the second dump question I'm giving, friends, in the entire this thing. Let's go ahead then. Let's go to the next one. Can we go ahead? Like you said, I'm more focusing on, unlike earlier classes here, it's not about research, it's about it's not about story, approach, identification of questions, elimination of answers. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's go to the next one, friends. 55 to 59, yes, IED, absolutely. Identification and right, elimination and dumping. Dumping questions also important. Let's go. Next passage, country celebrated 20th anniversary Kargil Vijay Divas, Kargil War. This entire passage about Kargil War, I'll be very amiss if I don't speak about it now. I hope you all know what's happening yesterday and this entire week. Yesterday, a very important incident happened connected to similar to this. Yes, can anyone tell about that? Latest current affair? Even that can be asked. Yes, in one of the PP videos, I'll anyway ask you to research it. So better I'm asking you. This is an important area for you to research. Indo-China conflict. Indo-China conflict is yes. Exact place. Look at the place where it happened. 20 people. Yes. Yes, Galwan Valley. Absolutely, Parthu. Galwan Valley. Galwan Valley is a specific place we are looking at. Yeah. So 20 Indian soldiers were killed in action. KIA killed in action. Sorry, 3 were killed in action, and other 17 have succumbed to injuries, and they are also killed in action. No bullet was fired, but physical stone pelting and all that stuff. So we don't know what is the side, and yes, 20 were killed from our side. So that is connected to, that's what I'm asking. Kargil was more with Pakistan, LAC is more with China. Anyway, let's come back. So in this Kargil war, more than 500 soldiers were killed. Yesterday we had, I just want to tell you how we're discussing. We want to know 49 we have discussed already. We're discussing now a question passage about 55 onwards. Wherever the tablet doesn't give me support, I'm just trying to. Okay. Give me a second. I'm just trying to kind of make the on the PDF I am able to make marks. Okay, it's not happening. Then I'll use the board. Do not worry. Okay. Let's get to the thing then. 55th question, friends. 55th question. This entire passage. This yesterday 20 people died. During the Kargil war, we had a situation for almost two weeks. Okay, it's an issue that we had 2 to 3 weeks. In fact, in a very that went on from May to July 1999. This battle happened, this war happened in 1999 between 2 months, May to July, and 2 weeks of intense fight happened. Indian army went in, and then Indian Air Force also came in and supported. 500 people died in those 2 months. Yesterday, 20 people died with Chinese skirmish. Yes, Colonel Santosh Shriya is right. Yesterday, one of the first 3 names, but there are many names now. 20 are there now. Almost every state has one name. Yesterday, there were 3 people. Colonel Santosh is one of them. Okay, and definitely one of the commanding officer. He is known. Yes, Colonel, the commanding officer from Suryapet. Okay, anyway, from Telugu state. Let's get to this. Operation. Identify the Operation X. Now, I would say. This is a question I would say, if there was an operation called Operation Vijay, I would have picked the answer, but please understand, Operation Vijay is the main operation in Kargil war, in Kargil win. That's why it's called Vijay Divas also. But please understand, Operation Vijay is the army operation. Okay, which was supported by Air Force operation called option D, Operation Safed Sagar, which is for Safed Sagar is Himalayas, etc. They want to kind of Safed Sagar because glaciers, etc. They want to do that. It's an Air Force operation. So Air Force has supported the Kargil army operation. So the main operation, army operation, is called Operation Vijay. Air Force operation is called Safed Sagar. The X mentioned in the passage is about Safed Sagar. So I hope the answer is clear. If you know this only, you can say this is not an easy passage in that way because it's not in current affairs. You have to know this. Okay, Kargil is part of the which of the following? Jammu, Kashmir, Leh, Ladakh. It is definitely as part of the Ladakh. Ladakh is where all the everyone. If you see China, Pakistan, India, all of them currently Ladakh is a very thing. Jammu, Kashmir is already like Pakistan side. We have a lot of problems, but Ladakh is a very Ladakh Valley. That is like a lot of important things are there. Okay, Ladakh is the place where Kargil is part of. Kargil Memorial is again situated in Vai Hill. And this is, I would want to know it. Anyone who knows, who have read about Kargil war will know. Otherwise, it's a difficult passage. I would say it's not an easy passage. Some of you who could not get answers for this passage, you did not feel bad. I would say 1999. I was your age. I was your age at that time, 20 years back. And this is a passage. This was very well etched in my mind. That's why I'm able to get the answer. The main hill, main top point, the top point where the battle happened. Please understand, Pakistan came into India, and what they did was they kind of took over some of the important things on the topmost point. On the topmost point, the altitude, the highest point from where they can control. So that had to be recaptured. That was called Tiger Hill. The name of the place where this the highest point in Kargil was called Tiger Hill, which was captured by them. So Indian army has to go back and capture that back again, and hence the memorial is built. Tiger Hill is the name of the highest elevation point. Am I clear about this? That's Tiger Hill. Let's go at 58th question. What is the infiltration? Infiltration of Pakistan, their name is Operation Badr. Again, I'm telling you, this is something I know because I was in it was in news at that time. It's not about this. So if you don't know some of these questions, do not feel bad about it. This is interesting. Which dialect is spoken by most people in Kargil? I would say for me also this question is difficult, but this is not a something. Right answer for this is option A, Balti Purgi. This is Kargil is more about I don't know if you've heard of it, Baltistan. How many of you have heard of this? Every time, whenever we talk about Jammu Kashmir, we only talk about Jammu Kashmir, but we have to talk about Baltistan. Baltistan is again another region in the Jammu Kashmir, which is Gilgit Baltistan. Absolutely, Gilgit Baltistan. So this is important for you to understand. This is under currently, this is a Pakistan control, but this is another important region, and this is connected to Ladakh, and there are many dialects, etc. The dialect that is spoken there is Balti Purgi. Okay, 70% of the people speak this language. Then the second language that we have is Datik Shina. Other people have this language. Yeah. So Himanshi asking a question. What does POK reason? What does it mean? What does it mean? This is a difficult question. I would say you can dump if you don't know the answer. 59th is difficult. Yeah. POK reason. I did not get that. What are you trying to say? Can you tell me? I did not get that. Okay. Yes, POK is POK full form Pakistan occupied Kashmir, but there you're saying okay. That means that art of POK. Okay, fine. Anyway, that is a thing. Let's not. Let's go ahead to the next one. Passage. Next passage, friends. This. Let's look at this passage now. Let's see what is there in this. This is a passage. World only floating nuclear power plant. If you remember, we have discussed this. Did we not discuss this? Floating power plant in one of the world's only floating power plant as an MCQ or something, I don't know, but we have discussed this in one of our areas, one of our this thing. Again, this is a second passage that has been discussed within this exam. This is the second passage that has come from where we discussed. Right to property we discussed earlier, and nuclear power plant we're discussing. So how are we trying to see what can come? Okay, let's look at the things. Name the floating power plant replaced. The place is actually Bilbino, but please understand the place where it's happening is Bilbino, but it is being replaced. It is not the name. Okay, earlier power plant is replaced. The right answer is Academic Lomosno. Again, I would say not easy if you do not know the thing. It is more of a trivia. It is not a conceptual question. Do not worry too much about it. Answer is option A, academic. Remember, academic, it will become easy. Academic. You are all English academic. English academic is very easy for us. Academy. They wanted to kind of academy. Right, that is how the thing is. Academic Lomonso is a nuclear power plant, floating nuclear power plant that is mentioned. That's what we have. Let's look at this Greenpeace. Let's look at 61st question, friends. Greenpeace, yeah, this is 61 is lollipop question. 61 is a lollipop question, friends, because Greenpeace described the project as nuclear Titanic and dash on ice. Dash on ice. That automatically means this. We are talking about a question which is about what can we say? This is about a question where there is a reference to some kind of big accident, etc. World's largest accident, largest nuclear accident happened in which place? We know that. We know it already. Last time only in one of the classes we discussed nuclear accidents. We discussed about Union Carbide. We discussed already. So what is the thing that the name of the place where this happened? I'm trying to mark on PDF. If not, I'll do it in the. Just give me a second. Yes. Okay, good. I have just got it finally. Let's hope it's working. Yeah, 61. What do we know, friends? Right, 61. Greenpeace. Chernobyl is we discussed this in the class. Chernobyl, and we said the highest nuclear disaster happened in Chernobyl. The disaster. See, Akshit, you are talking about the place. I'm talking about the name of the the plant, etc. Okay, Chernobyl is Chernobyl disaster. It's called, and I've also spoken about another similar disaster that happened in 2011. 2011, we discussed Japanese. I've discussed what is the place, name of the plant. We discussed in a class Chernobyl, and then we gave another name. At the seven highest level 7 nuclear disaster, Fukushima. Absolutely right. Fukushima, part the right answer. Not Hiroshima. Hiroshima is a bomb, Siddharth. That is atomic bomb. We're talking about nuclear plant disaster, power plant disaster. We discussed in the class. On that day also someone said Hiroshima, but Hiroshima is different. This is different. Okay, Fukushima is the right answer. Let's get to the thing. Chernobyl is a thing. So it's called Chernobyl Onais because Chernobyl is a Russian disaster. So the same name is given. Let's go to the next one. Identify the port. Popular port in Russia where this floating nuclear power plant will be parked, etc. Answer is St. Petersburg. This again, I would say a dump question. Not so easy if you do not know it. Let's go to the next one. The power plant is to operate where? Russia is at what ocean? Russia, which of them is near to Russia? Mediterranean. This is an example of a elimination question. For example, I can make elimination 63. I might not know the answer, but I can obviously make an elimination. I can make an elimination. Look at this. Mediterranean Sea, Middle East. Black Sea again in the European, Asia-European district. Arctic Ocean, Arctic Pole. Russia is the only country which has Arctic, lot of connection with Arctic Ocean, this thing. And Pacific Ocean, definitely not right. Pacific is not there. So answer is Arctic, this thing. Arctic is the right answer. Right, let's go to the next one. World's largest powered icebreaker. Again is a dump question. See, if you see this passage, I would say difficult because out of the 5 questions, we have put 2 or 3 dump questions. Right answer for this is Ural. If this is a trivia kind of questions, I'm not discussing a lot. So this is an example of a passage. If you did not know 2 or 3 answers, I'm still okay. This was a passage example. We said when we read the passage, we said this is a passage we know. We have connection with the passage. In spite of that, we have had questions where 2-3 questions are difficult questions. We need not know the answers. If you don't know the answer, I'm not worried. You can still be in the top 100. Will you agree? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Let's go to the next passage, friends. Probably the last passage in this exam. Indian Navy launched Operation Manila in support. Yes, this humanitarian support operations we discussed in the classes. Multiple operations. You remember Indian Naval, Indian Army operations. So this is about that. INS, Y, etc. Flood hit area. Let's look at this. Now let's go to the questions. Which country is mentioned? The answer is Madagascar. What is the name of the operation? We said Operation Vanilla. Please note Operation Vanilla. This is a beautiful question where you can do homework and keep ready. Next for later. Madagascar operation. Option D, Madagascar. And the name of the operation is Operation Vanilla. Name of the ship that has actually been used to help is INS Airavat. Underline the word Airavat. INS stands for Indian Naval Ship. We all know that Airavat is a larger this thing because it's all about help. Vikramaditya and other things are more like a battle warships, etc. But Airavat is more for that. Kamorta and all these Sky Ranger, smaller battle warships, battle this thing. Whereas INS is more like a support this thing. So understand it. Which cyclone hit the thing? We discussed a lot of cyclones. Recently, there's a cyclone that hit on the western coast of India. What is the western coast of India? The cyclone that hit the Gujarat side, west coast of India. Nisar. No, Amphan wrong. Amphan, Nisarg is the right answer. Nisarg on the west coast. Nisarg on the west coast. Amphan is on the east coast. Odisha and West Bengal. Amphan was a bigger cyclone. It was on the east coast, but Nisarga is on the west coast. So I'm just trying to kind of tell you the thing. Okay. Anyway, right answer here. This thing is Diane. Cyclone Diane was the one that affected Philippines. Sorry, Madagascar and all the other areas. By the way, Diane, homework for you automatically. We have discussed already cyclone naming. Question for you: which country offered the Diane name? Out of the countries, 8 countries, Diane. Homework for you: check out which country offered the Diane as a name for the thing. Which country offered Diane name and what does it mean? Now 68 Lallu question. 68 another Lallu question, friends. 68 Lallu question. Who is the current naval army chief? We discussed this in the class very clearly. We discussed this. We discussed all the chiefs, 3 chiefs, and also the chief. Answer is Karambir Singh. Answer is Karambir Singh. Who is the outgoing chief? Who was the outgoing chief? Who was the outgoing chief? Yes, the question is about naval chief. Outgoing is Sunil Lamba. Now it is Karambir Singh. Absolutely out. Right? Clear. You should always know the names. This is very, very easy. Look at how many questions did we actually note as dump. I would say how many questions did we say dump. In fact, only one passage we had multiple dumps. From that is international nuclear thing 60 to 64. I put 3 dump and there's 1 dump in question number 59. If you look at it overall and then 1 at 54, then all the way go back to, we discuss all the way back to only the first passage probably. Yes. So overall I would say yes, 5 or 6 dump questions. Out of how many? Out of total how many, friends? Out of how many? Out of 40 questions. Out of 40 questions. out of 40 GK questions that you have, 40 or 37? I thought 40, right? No, 68 minus 28, 40. In this exam we had 40. Some exams less more, but this exam I thought we had 40, isn't it? Please count carefully. 40 questions we had. 40 GK questions they had. There are only 5 to 6 dump questions. That means any one of you could have got 30, 35 is possible. I would say any score 25 plus is a good score in this exam, but 30 to 35 is the ideal score. Ideal score for this exam is 30 to 35. Here I want to bring to you the analysis part, friends. Look at this. Look at this. Sectional, we have a topper score, etc. Current affairs, the highest score is sectional top score is 32. But this is good. This is a good score, but I'm very, very unhappy with the next ones. Please look at it. The top 10 scores and top 50 average scores. It's pretty bad. I'm not at all happy, friends. It shows while the topper who is getting it. Sometimes the single most top score I don't give a lot of credence to because you're doing it from home. Some of them might be doing it unscrupulously and I can't do that. But I would say, well, top score is good. I think top 10 scores, topper score, average 20 in this kind of exam, 20 is not a good score. I wish at least the score should have been 25 because there are 25 easy questions only and a good questions to do. An ideal score is 30 plus. If out of 40, if a 30 score someone has got, I would have been very happy. Okay, if someone has got a 25, I would have been good score. 25 good score, 30 plus ideal score, great score. But this 20 and see, you see average. If you see, one other thing I'll tell you is top 10 and top 50 people who are right who have written this exam. In GK, there's no change. In English, there's a change. If you look at all other areas, top 10 scores and top 50 scores, there's a huge change. But top 10 and top 50 scores, GK, there's no change. It indicates the toppers are not taking this seriously. Again, I'm telling you, all of you need to take this seriously. It's a heavy possibility is there. Average score in this itself is 16. Anyone is getting easy questions. There are 20 easy questions in this. I would have wanted you to kind of, that's why you see band 1 score in this was 25 plus. So you should have got a 25 plus. I would have said a good score. A 30 would have been an ideal score. Right? How many scored? Anyone scored 30 plus in this exam? 30 in GK? Any scored in the class? Whoever is there in the class 30 plus in GK? Okay, good. Shivani says you. Good Shivani. Good for you. 30 plus is a good score. Good score. See, what do you need? Overall, you need 110, 120. You get 30 out of it already. You're safe, right? Right. Good. Tejasvi. This is at least a 25 in this exam. 25 should have been a minimum score you should have got. Anything less than 25 is not acceptable. Just in the recent mock, in the current mock, we're talking only about this mock, friends. I'm talking about current mock number 64. We are doing a detailed analysis. Yes. Okay. Sanjana got 27. Good. Anything around 25 plus is good. 30 plus is great. Anything above 25 is good. You have your student portal. You can keep checking while I'm doing this because from there only we're discussing questions. You can know the answers there. We can discuss. Is mock 62, is it? I think then they gave me a wrong number. My bad. See, it is because they have given me a sheet that says mock 64. Okay, they said mock 64. Is it mock 64 or 62, friends? Mock 64 or 62? They gave a code as 64. So my bad then. Okay, I'll check. It is given as 64. It is given as 64. Okay, you can check. So then there is some mistake here. I think 64 is the right number. 62 is wrong. There's a problematic thing with this. Do not worry about that. Or they have given this thing. Do not worry about that. Okay, 64. So like I said, every passage, everything they have. Now I want to kind of quickly, before we move ahead and this thing toward the end, I want to kind of show whatever we have discussed. They've also given you this thing, right? How many people have attempted questions and how many got it correct? This is an important thing. No, that's what I said. That's a mistake, Pardu, in the title. Do not worry about this. The people, when they had to kind of use the template, they've used the old template. They did not change the title. Okay, do not worry. 64 is the right number. Okay. Anyway, let's get back. So this is, like you see, you can see the attempts 60-70% are generally attempting. 36th question, I don't know, 36th question, there's a huge less this thing. I don't know, 36th question, I'm discussing this. If you are looking at the thing, what I've done is question wise analysis report I have. This is available to me. This should also be available to you in your student portal, but I'm using this. This will give you an idea of where students are going wrong, where you can do better. 36th question, very few people have attempted. Look at it. All of you, please look at 36, 37 questions, friends. All of you, please look at 36, 37 questions. 36th question, 36, 37, please look at it. 36, 37, yes. So 36, 37 was obviously difficult question, Taiwan miracle, etc. But 36, I don't know why only 40% people attempted. Look at this next one. Actually, when it comes to 48th question, only 31% people attempted. Yeah, which is fine, like I said, because it's more of a trivia kind of question. 48 question, 31% only attempted. That is still okay. That is this thing. But let me go to the next one. I'm only looking at, I want to know if the same kind of people who attempted very less question this, I want to see how when it comes to 60 to 64, let's look at all the others good attempt 60%, etc. 60 to 64, you can see, like I said, this is the area where we had a lot of dump questions. 60 to 64. You see 45%, 34%. There again, people were too, people were too, they were very confident and they did it. Either because they felt it is, I can't believe this accuracy. I'll be very honest, do not take it negatively, but I believe sometimes this accuracy indicates there is some cheating. This indicates this questions I'm not happy. What I'm not happy is, I'm happy if you attempt, but this also indicates either it is, you might have done cheating. So I know, let me tell you, just by the measure of it, I can say which was an authentic answer, which was not an authentic answer. Because questions, where can you do cheating? Easy cheating is possible when the question is clear. You can just type it in Google, etc. Some people do that. So please do not do that. That is not good for you. But anyway, this is, it's also the same mistake. Mahit, which one you're talking about? Bhavani, again you're saying. It's also the same mistake. Okay, the title might be wrong. Okay, title might be wrong. Do not worry about the title. Let's focus on the concept. Let's not worry about that in this part. So as you see, overall, what I wanted to kind of tell you is there are a lot of questions where it's very possible to kind of attempt. See, my goal in today's class is just to show how to identify easy questions, pakka do questions, how to identify elimination kind of questions where you can do. We have shown at least 6 to 7 questions. We have done elimination. Yes or no? We were able to eliminate answers in 6 to 7 questions even if we did not know the answer. I've shown that. And I've also identified 6 questions to be exact, which I've dumped. I said you need not do. I said you need not do. So in GK, I've done out of 40, 6 I said no need to do. Remaining 34, you could have easily got 25 minimum correct, 30 plus correct. I would have been ideally happy. So will you promise me you'll use this thinking? Now I've given a couple of homeworks here and there. You can do that. And I'll start your PPE and survey videos will come to you. First video will come in this weekend. After I have weekend seminars, after the weekend will come. On the weekend it will come. Or Monday morning it will come. Please be ready for that. We'll share that. And next class I will do. Will you promise me? Will all of you promise me? You will target to kind of have a good score in GK, 25 plus, 30 plus. Will you do that based on how many questions come? 37 to 40. It's important for you to go with the right approach. IED, think of IED all the time. IED, identify, eliminate, dump. Identify, eliminate, dump. Very, very, very important. Okay. So this is where I kind of close today's session because rank booster sessions are not meant to be discussed in. So what I'll do is I've given a couple of homeworks. Please submit the homework also. Submit the homework in rank booster. Same like the earlier ones, you can still submit the homework. And please reach out. Do not just because we have completed the regular GK classes. I want you to kind of keep writing to me, keep posting doubts. I think some of your posting doubts I'm very happy. Achut is answering already. And if you have anything that you want to kind of discuss, please come back to me. And it's pretty important, friends. I'm telling you, last 1.5 months, this is important for you to kind of maintain your motivation levels. See, in the class we have around 100 students now, 90 to 100. When the classes were happening, it was around 130, 140. So if you should be the last man standing. Srilata asked me, one of you asked me, sir, if you don't get the premium club, how? I'm saying if you don't get the premium club, it's still okay. But you should be in these classes, you should be the last person in the class. That's how serious you should be. If you do that, believe me, it's not only CLAT, it's not only NLU, you will do well in life. Okay? Right. So this is where I'll take your leave, friends. This is where we'll close the class for the day. Looking forward to see you next time. I'll kind of bring out more and more interesting exam approaches, This approach we'll kind of use all the time and we'll discuss more. But any doubts you have, anything you can, I'm here, you can ask me. And otherwise, see you in the next week. All the very best for your Sunday mock. Yes. Those who have doubts, you can stay back. I'm here. Yes. Okay, Sanjana, you had some doubt. Please tell me. Okay, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Yes, there will be a webinar on Saturday, Mahit. There will be a webinar. This time, the webinar will be on how to handle various sections. How to handle various sections in the CLAT exam. Section-wise strategies session we are doing. This Saturday there's a webinar. Yes. Sanjana, 2 passage homework. Yeah. So you want second passage homework. Okay. Let me just check second passage homework. I kind of asked you about. The homework I gave you was in 35th question. Please look at it. Sanjana, 35th question. 35th question homework, Sanjana, in second passage. The homework is about Taiwan. About Taiwan, I said, check out which all countries in the world recognize Taiwan as an official republic and which countries don't. There's some countries which are pro-China, there's some countries which are supporting Taiwan. Which countries recognize Taiwan, which countries don't recognize Taiwan. And similarly, Taiwan's membership at UN is at what level? Because is it at official, unofficial, what level? I want that. Taiwan's relation with other countries and Taiwan's membership in UN. Is the homework clear, Sanjana? I hope it's clear. Yes, Lata, Saturday, see, timetable it is given self-study because webinars is not part of your regular course. Webinars is a general thing, so that will be shared also, do not worry. Okay, they'll in the timetable they'll never mention webinar separately. Webinar will be given separately, Lata, that will be shared with you, do not worry. Okay. My mail ID. Surya Teja, what I would suggest is you need not mail me, Teja. You can always come to me on Twitter. Twitter is where I kind of engage on GK and all other areas. Please write to me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. A lot of your friends are already doing. You can please find me on Twitter. Okay. Yes, meet you on Saturday. Yes, on the webinar we'll discuss sectional strategies on webinar. We'll do. Yes. Operation Rahat. It's you. Come on. I mean, Abdullah, you know me. After so many months, although you're still asking me that kind of question. Operation Rahat, where it is used, do Google. Na? Why Naresh sir is needed for that? Is it a conceptual question or trivia question? I'm not writing CLAT. You're writing CLAT. Okay. I'm not going to answer trivia questions even if I know. Okay. Why? Because I'm not Google for you. I need not answer that kind of questions. Yes. Yes, Twitter's, I'm available. Mahit kind of responds to me regularly. He kind of connects to me. He asks me regularly. You can do that. In the fifth passage, Patal, I'll give that homework also, Sanjana. Come to fifth passage, passage number 5. The homework I gave there was, I have asked you to research Patal Gadi and Bhima Koregaon and RA Forest. I've given you 3 cases, Sanjana. I've asked you to do 3 incidents. Patal Gadi incident, Bhima Koregaon incident and RA Forest incident. I wanted to research what were the protests about. There were 3 protests that happened, one in Patal Gadi, one in Bhima Koregaon and one in RA Forest. Okay, 2 of them went to sedition, but the question is, what were those protests about? What is the problem? I gave you broad hints also. First 2 were connected to some local rights, tribal rights. Third one is connected to the environment, but still I asked you to do research on that. That's a homework for you. Okay, clear, Sanjana? Snigdha is asking, were you supposed to tell about charge? Yes, Snigdha, that is what I said. Those things will come under, we'll be doing them in the PPE and the video on demand. I'm doing that. It's already part. Do not worry. I remember. I'm not going to, whatever I promise, and I actually get excited when I do those sessions for you. It's part of the, see, the only reason we made it to video sessions, Snigdha, is we felt attendance is coming down here. Snigdha, I'll be very honest, attendance is coming down here. Only serious students are coming. I thought instead of just doing that kind of class, here I want to focus more on exam approach, exam strategy. I'll do those videos and I'll send it to you. Okay, clear, Snigdha? Right. That's it then. That's the end of the session, friends. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. Have a good day. Please take your rank booster exams and rank booster session seriously. You will learn something. And that's it. That's where I end the class for the day, friends. Yeah. Okay. Right. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. So we can close the class if you do not have any questions. Okay. Attendance also has come down to 30 now. Yeah. Any number of people in the class? 1/3 now. Bye. Bye, Siddharth. Okay then, friends. Okay, everyone. Bye, everyone. See you next week. See you this Saturday. We have a webinar. So see you in a webinar or the next class. This time I'll see you in a webinar also. Okay. Bye, everyone.